This video you're about to watch, who is it for? And most of us are on this page. Now, some of us want to pay for online courses on the Udemy and Coursera, and since this is Xmas period, most of us will also like to shop online on platforms like Amazon, AliExpress to look fresh and dapper for the season. Some of us also want to run Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and also streaming platforms. And for some of us in the gaming sections, we also want to subscribe to gaming platforms. Now, for the tech bros who want to do their web hosting and the server space subscriptions, and these are also for travelers who probably want to book apartments in another country outside Nigeria through Airbnb, and they want to make this reservation before traveling outside the country. But the surprising thing about this thing is that our Naira debit card is not working. You can't do anything with this online. This actually happened on July 2020. Several Nigerian banks reduced their spending limits on debit cards held by Nigerians home and abroad. Banks like Stanbic IBTC Bank, for instance, reduced its limit from $500 to $100, while banks like Zenith Bank cut their limits down to $200. The reason given for this reduction was that Nigeria was experiencing dollar shortage due to the steep in oil prices. Also, the country had paused selling forex to retail currency traders after the ban on international travel to halt the spread of the deadly coronavirus. Hence, the Apex Bank had to direct banks to reduce the spending limit on debit cards to lessen the risks of foreign settlement difficulties. As expected, this new financial restriction caused direct and indirect issues for the debit card holders. Nigerians abroad could no longer make payments for services such as flights and hotel reservations, and while those at home could not also pay for essential services like web hosting that were usually cost more than $100. But during this process, some of us were actually making use of the fintech companies because they could actually give virtual cards, and these virtual cards could actually bring out the pins and the numbers with the addresses, which normally comes from maybe UK or the US. We were funding these cards with our Naira to make purchases and make payments online. But before we could know it, the bank struck again in the first quarter of 2022, and some certain customers also received emails informing them of another reduction in their debit card limits, and the limits on international transactions using Naira debit cards had been cut down from $100 to $20 per month. Now, this has been going on, and even our MasterCard and Visa card could not be able to make payments online. We were devastated. People kept on searching for different options and different possibilities of solving this payment issue. Even the virtual card was no longer working. Fintech companies like the Flutterwave and other apps that were actually working then ceased giving out virtual cards. Usually, I normally use my Naira debit card to pay for my subscriptions like the Epidemic Sounds whenever I'm using it to edit my videos. But after then, I ceased using the Epidemic Sounds and I was now using YouTube audios. But after every research and every process, I got to a solution. And here is the solution. It is very, very simple. And this has to do with, and the easiest bank that you can actually do this with is GT and Access Bank. Now, I could remember there was a time I had a business transaction with a client abroad, and she sent me dollars into my GT bank. Now, when this dollar got into my GT bank, GT Bank had to create a separate dollar account for me because they send it into my own Naira account. But GT Bank had to create a separate dollar account for me. The same thing as my Access Bank. My sister once transferred money to me into my Access Bank, and Access Bank as well created a dollar a dollar account for me. Now, this is what you will do. You can either walk into the bank and request for a dollar account. But we all know that the process of getting a dollar account these days in Nigeria is very, very hectic. You have to bring guarantors, you have to sign so and so forms and all these things. You have to go through a long process, which it might not even be given to you within a week. But here is the simple solution. If you have somebody abroad that can transfer dollar into your Naira account.
Yes, I mean that account you're making use of now. That's if you don't have a dollar account and you have a Naira account. Now let the person transfer money into that account. Maybe it's your client, your friend, your family. Even if it's as low as $100 or $200, let him or her transfer it into your Naira account. Now, when this money gets into your Naira account, the bank will send you an SMS telling you that $100 is in your account, but they will give you another account number. That account number now, they will tell you that that is your dollar account number. Now, you have to go to the bank. When you go to the bank, they will have to verify the account for you. You have to do some signings with your ID card or your passport. You have to go there with your ID card or your passport. They have to do some signings for you. Now, after this process, you can decide to leave the dollar in your account or take the dollar out of your account. But I would prefer you leave the dollar in your account. Now, you will leave the dollar and come back the next day. Maybe when you're done with it today, you get back the next day. Once you come back the next day, you will request for a dollar card. Now, after all your verifications that was done yesterday, they will now give you this dollar card, and the charges for the dollar card should be about, let me say, $4 or $6 thereabout. I don't know the charges that will collect for this. That means money has to be in your dollar account for them to issue this dollar card to you, and which is the Visa Gold. Yeah, they will actually give you the Visa Gold card, not even the Mastercard, not even the normal Visa that the normal Visa card that we normally use, but they will give you a card which is the Visa Gold. That's for Access Bank. I don't know for other banks, but I know that Access Bank issues the Visa Gold card. Now, after they've given you the card, you have to activate this card there in their counter, and you can start using this card, and it's as fast as possible. The payment is as fast. The debit on it is very, very fast. So whatever payment you're making is going fast. Now, there's something important I want you all to note about here now. When you open this dollar account and this card is being given to you, you can now do your transactions. Please note that you will have to fetch your dollar yourself. You have to go to all these aboki men selling dollar, or if you have a friend that sells dollar, you have to purchase your own dollar and then deposit into the bank. The bank will not sell dollar to you because the bank's rate is at either 450 or 460. Now, black market rate for dollar is currently now it should be 750 or 760. So the bank actually does not sell dollar at this rate. They actually sell dollar at 450, and which they won't even agree to sell that dollar to you. The bank actually, they don't even give a dollar. So you have to check this dollar for yourself. You can meet a friend or probably going to all this bureau de change, and you get the dollar for yourself. Now, when you get this dollar, you deposit it into your account and start using it. Now, when you deposit this dollar, you're depositing it at 760 or 750. But if you want to use this dollar on your dollar account, they will be charging you according to bank rates. You get the gist now. They will charge you according to 450, 460, according to bank own rate, not you buying it. Now, if you're making a payment for about, let me say, you bought a dollar for, let me say, 750. Let me say 750. You bought dollar for 750, which is about 75,000, and you deposit it into the bank. Now, if you want to spend that dollar and maybe what you want to buy or the subscription is about $100, the charge on it is still going to be 45,000, which is 450, and you see it, and it will be you see the debit on it. They will still give you the debit in dollar and in naira. So the bank exchange rate is about 450, 460. Why? Now, if you don't know of any medium which they can send money to you here in Nigeria, you can actually make use of the TransferWise. Yes, these guys are very, very fast. You can check the link on my description. You can copy it and send it to the person that will actually want to transfer money into your bank account, so that if you use that link and then transfer money into your bank account, and you will get it. And the charge rates are actually good, so you send it to him and let him check it out. So you can actually use TransferWise to transfer money abroad to Nigeria. And this is the interesting part about this card. Now, this is the transaction limit and the charges on your card. If you eventually get this card, this is the transfer limit and the charges on the card. Now, which is cash withdrawals. That's if you walk into a foreign bank and you want to and you're demanding for cash, that's dollar cash, they will only give you $1,000. That's $1,000 for cash withdrawals daily, and your charge for this is $3. That's per day, is $3 for each withdrawal, is $3. Now, talking about international transactions, which actually involves ATM, POS, and web. That means you're using the card to purchase something online or pay for subscriptions. Now, the limit is unlimited, so you can just be paying and then be going. There's no limit on the card, and this transaction is free every day. There's no limit on your card for web, POS, and ATM transactions, and for each day you have a free transaction. If you know that this information was helpful to you, please click on the like button and click on the subscription button. Please, it's very, very important. Before the ending of December, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. We are at 550, and we say thank you, and we'll be coming back with more.